The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has resolved to embark on a 5-day warning strike beginning from Wednesday this week. The doctors say they have presented several issues bothering on patients' doctors' welfare to the federal government without getting any invitation for dialogue from government. The resident doctors also added that after their last extraordinary executive council meeting between the 27th and 29th of April, they issued the government a 2-week ultimatum to address the burning issues presented, and the ultimatum ended 2 days ago. Let's talk now with the Secretary General, Dr. Chikieze Kelechi, for more on this development. Dr. Kelechi, in addition to, as part of your demands, you're seeking a 200% increment in salary structure, as well as a few others new allowances. How feasible are these doctors' demand in the midst of what government calls scarcity of resources?
All right, thank you for me. It's a pleasure to be here. The feasibility should be considered vis-a-vis what used to be when the current salary structure was approved. Now, the current salary structure was approved in the year 2009, and the proviso then in the collective bargaining agreement was that it will be subject to review every 5 years. Now, that salary structure did not take effect until 2014. So after 5 years, it took effect. It wasn't reviewed. Ordinarily, it should have been reviewed upwards in 2014, but then that was when it took effect, after having been approved in 2009. So again, it was due for another review by 2019, but there has never been a review on that salary structure. So what was approved in 2009 has never been reviewed. So when you consider inflation rate, you consider the high cost of living, you consider the exchange in Forex, okay, and you would be able to know that 200% is not too much to demand. Now, when you go statistically, when you consider the inflation rate between 2009 and now, it is about 270%. We have done the maths, we've done the statistics, so we know. But we are making a request for 200% and not 270%.
I get you, Dr. Kelechi, but interestingly, resident doctors have been on a handful of strike in the past 3 years, even during the pandemic year. How effective have these industrial actions been in helping you achieve your desires?
Well, it is very worrisome, but that is the only time government gets to sit on the table with resident doctors. Even though most times when agreements are reached, they are not carried out. Well, we have a situation in the country where the government only sits down to talk when there is a strike action. They hardly pay attention to any other requests, to discuss or dialogue. They seem to be very busy with other things that are considered more important. So it's only when there is a strike action that they get to sit down to talk. And so that is the option we are left with. We do not prefer the option of strikes, but we have always asked this question: what is the better option? Because when you write, there are a lot of memos written to government on these same issues. And some of the strikes you are referring to in the past were also based on some of these issues. Some of these issues are as old as 2014. So it's just a difficult and an embarrassing situation that we have found ourselves.
It's a good place to leave it. It sounds like the best you've achieved with strike is a sit down with government. Hopefully you get more this time, but many would ask that why stay optimistic if it hasn't worked in the past. But perhaps we'll talk about this some other time. Dr. Kelechi is the Secretary General of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors. Thank you for talking to us on the news tonight.
Thank you very much.